Between the ages of 30 to 50, we lose about 15% of our lung capacity. By the time we reach 80, we lose about 30%. So if you want to live longer, and if you want to live a better life, then you want to increase your lung capacity. And in this video, I want to show you 4 powerful ways in which you can do that. And these 4 ways are, number 1, it's going to be max heart rate cardio. Number 2, it's going to be zone 2 cardio. 3 is going to be diaphragmatic breathing. And number 4 is going to be improving your posture. So if you're ready for that, let's jump in. But before that, if you haven't subscribed to this video yet, I want you to just please like and subscribe. It helps me attune myself to the algorithm. It also helps me reach more beautiful people like you. So I really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's actually go into the video. So why should you improve your lung health? There are a couple of reasons. So your lungs keep your body and brain supplied with oxygen. They also remove waste gases like carbon dioxide, and they play a role in your immune system. But as your lungs age, the passages become less flexible. And this is what makes the transfer of oxygen to your bloodstream more difficult. Like any other part of your body, the lungs can age and wear out. And obviously, we're not talking about smoking and what smoking does to your lungs. Obviously, you don't want to do that. It's not great for your lungs or for your overall health. We're not going to be talking about foundational aspects like losing weight, getting your body fat down to a regular level. We're not gonna be talking about any of that stuff. Now, I wanna share with you these 4 powerful ways, but before getting into that, I wanna let you also know that this is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not gonna tell you what to do with your body. These are just recommendations based on my own personal experience and that of which I have with my clients. So always do your own research when it comes to this stuff. So the very first one is max heart rate cardio. And obviously, we do not want to get ourselves right to the maximum of our heart rate. And if you want to find out your max heart rate, it's doing 220 minus your age. And what we want to do is we want to get close to our max. And one of the best ways in which to do this is using high intensity interval training. And this is what I call the heavy lifting for the lungs. High intensity interval training has been shown to improve maximal oxygen uptake. It increases respiratory strength, and it also builds aerobic capacity. And the good thing about this is that you can do as little as 30 seconds a week up to a maximum of about, I'd say like 8 to 12 minutes. And it's really not that hard to do. I'm lying there. It is pretty hard. That's why we call it max heart rate cardio. Of max heart rate cardio would be doing sprints. Usually I don't like to do these on the pavement. I like to do these at a field, and it would be 20 seconds of all out sprinting. Then after that 20 seconds, we're gonna be doing 10 seconds of light jog. And then we're gonna do about 6 to 8 rounds of this all over again. Before getting into maximum heart rate cardio, you want to always do a warm up, and you want to always get your body temperature up, and you also want to mobilize different parts of your body that could get injured while doing something at maximal intensity. So I make sure that whenever I do it, I'm warming up with a little bit of jumping jacks just to warm my body up, but I also do some mobility stretches. I'm going to do an entire video on that particular aspect of fitness. It's very important to make sure that you're not going to wreck yourself when doing something at a high intensity. So the other way in which to increase your lung capacity is through zone 2 cardio. And zone 2 cardio is by definition going at about 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. And for me, I like to say that it is the type of cardio where you do it where it's not intense, where you can't have a conversation, and intense enough where you're barely able to have a conversation. So the benefits of zone 2 cardio are as follows. It increases the number of mitochondria and also your mitochondrial efficiency. Obviously, it increases your lung capacity, and it lowers your heart rate and decreases your blood pressure. There's also a little bit of an endorphin boost that you get, which is amazing when you do this type of cardio right before you're about to do a focus session when you're doing work. Other examples of zone 2 cardio are going to be walking very intensely, jogging like we just did, swimming, even like some forms of like shadow boxing. And again, remember, it's gonna be intense enough where you can barely hold a conversation. So you wanna just make sure that you're not necessarily going into the intense or high intensity modes when it comes to this type of cardio. Now, it is recommended that you get about 170 to 180 minutes of this type of cardio every single week. And you can do this all in one shot, or you can do this pretty much split up between, say, 30 minutes in the beginning of the week, and a little bit later in the week, you do another about 30 to 40 minutes. Now, an example of zone 2 cardio would be doing cardio at a pace where you're barely able to have a conversation. Now, I'm doing this right after I did a couple sprints, so I may be sounding a little bit more out of breath, but you get the deal. I'm barely able to talk to you right now while my feet are jogging and moving. Now, another fantastic way to increase lung capacity is through diaphragmatic breathing. And diaphragmatic breathing is meant to use your diaphragm while breathing. Simple enough. And this type of breathing technique offers several benefits other than lung capacity to your body. So the very first thing is it strengthens your diaphragm. It decreases the work of breathing by strengthening your breathing muscles. And it also decreases oxygen demand because you're taking less effort to breathe in the first place. So one of the best ways to do this is through what is called the 4-7-8 technique. And diaphragmatic breathing also is one of these ways that you can progressively overload your breathing technique. So 4-7-8 is a way to begin. You can always advance to doing longer periods. And yes, there's ways in which to increase this lung capacity because you don't just want to keep yourself at one type of breathing technique. So 4-7-8 is gonna look like this. You keep one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly. You're gonna breathe in through the nose 4 seconds. And you can do this sitting down or lying down. And it's gonna be breathing in through the nose for 4 seconds. You're gonna be holding it for 7 seconds. And you're gonna be breathing out through pursed lips for about 8 seconds. So it's gonna look like this. Breathe in through my nose for 4 seconds. And I would do that type of breathing for a total of about 4 minutes. And one of the things that you may notice about this breathing is it's a wonderful way to calm yourself down as well. So the final way in which to increase lung capacity is by fixing your posture. Your lungs can only take up the room that you give them. If you sit in a slouched down position, or if you're standing in a slouched down position, what happens is that your abdomen is compressed. And then when your abdomen is compressed, this limits the ability for your diaphragm and intercostals to expand your lungs. And if you do that long enough, your body is going to stop fighting gravity and you're gonna start to look like a croissant. And I'm gonna tell you right now, no one wants to look like a croissant. So here's a quick way in which to fix your posture, and it's done very consciously. It's not done with any kind of gadgets or toys. This is actually something that we have to consciously do on a regular basis. Number one is gonna be stand tall or sit tall, bring your shoulder blades back, lift up your chest. We're also going to be closing our mouth and putting the tongue at the roof of our mouth. And we want to consciously keep this position. One of the best ways to do this is actually by putting some annoying reminders on your phone or on your laptop to remind yourself to fix your posture. Now, other ways that you can fix your posture, especially if you sit at a desk, is to keep your monitor at eye level. If you are always looking down, then obviously that's not gonna be good for your posture. And you wanna have a proper desk setup where everything is ergonomically set up in a way where you can have good posture while you are working. And again, I'm gonna do an entire video on how to set up your desk for this. Now understand, foundationally, with increasing your lung capacity, you don't wanna be smoking, obviously. It's horrible for your lungs. You also wanna get your body fat to a level where you're gonna be avoiding a preventable disease and not putting extra weight for your body to handle while it's walking to and from different areas. But now you have 4 powerful ways to improve your lung capacity. And by going through these powerful ways, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna find that life is just easier. And as you age, right now I'm 42, I'm turning 43, you're gonna find that as you age that you are gonna be simply able to do simple things a lot easier, and also it's gonna be contributing to your overall longevity. All right, so which one are you gonna try out? Let me know in the comments below, and if you haven't, if you got value out of this, please like and subscribe to the video to help the algorithm, and I will see you on the next video.